Some stadiums are just stadiums. And then there's the Azteca, a colossus of concrete and steel built in one of the largest cities on Earth, over 2,000 meters above sea level, that has witnessed more history than most countries ever will. Pelé, Maradona, the hand of God, the goal of the century, World Cup finals, anthems, tears, glory. This stadium isn't just a sports venue. It's a living monument to the history of world football. And now, in just days, it hosts the 2026 World Cup for the third time in its history. In this video, we're telling you everything about the most legendary stadium on the planet. It's 1961. Mexico has just won the right to host the 1970 World Cup, and the country has an enormous problem. There's no stadium worthy of a World Cup final. The only sizable stadium was the Estadio Olímpico Universitario, but it was too small and too far from the city center. The solution? Build the largest stadium in Latin America from scratch. On a tight deadline, the project went to architect Pedro Ramirez Vázquez, the same man who would later design Mexico's National Museum of Anthropology, one of the most visited museums in the world. 5 years of construction, over 80,000 tons of concrete, thousands of workers, and a clear vision to build not just a stadium, but a national symbol. When it opened its doors on May 29, 1966, the Azteca had capacity for 112,000 people. Say that again, 112,000. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire population of cities like Santa Barbara or Tallahassee. It was the largest stadium in the world outside Europe, and the second largest on the planet. The name chosen was a tribute to the civilization that dominated Mexico for centuries, the Aztecs. A warrior people, powerful, builders of empires. A perfect name for a stadium that was about to become the stage for moments no one would ever forget. June 1970. Mexico hosts the 11th FIFA World Cup, and the Azteca, just 4 years old, hosts its first World Cup final, Brazil against Italy. This was the match everyone wanted to see, Brazil's total football against Italian solidity. And who was on the pitch for Brazil? Pelé, the king, the greatest player the world had ever seen. Brazil won 4-1. 4-1 in a World Cup final. It was a performance many still consider the greatest collective display in football history. Jairzinho, Gerson, Carlos Alberto, and of course, Pelé. Pelé lifted the Jules Rimet trophy for the third time, and Brazil, as three-time champions, kept it forever. 107,000 people inside the Azteca that day. A few seconds of silence when the referee blew the final whistle. And then an explosion of joy that echoed across all of Mexico. The Azteca was only 4 years old, and already immortal. But the best, or worst, depending on who you ask, was still to come. 1986. The world is in the grip of the Cold War. International tension is enormous. And in football, there's a context that goes far beyond sport. 4 years earlier, in 1982, Argentina and England had been in a real war, a war with casualties, over the Falkland Islands, an archipelago in the South Atlantic that both countries claimed as their own. It lasted 74 days. More than 900 people died. And now, in June 1986, the two countries are meeting on a football pitch, at the Azteca, in the World Cup quarterfinals. For Argentina, this wasn't just a football match. It was revenge. A chance to win where weapons had failed. What happened in the next 45 minutes entered history forever. First, the 51st minute. Maradona jumps with English goalkeeper Peter Shilton, and the ball goes into the net. Goal for Argentina. But the ball had been touched with his hand, with Maradona's hand. The referee didn't see it. The goal stood. Later, Maradona said it had been a little with the head of Maradona, and a little with the hand of God. The name stuck forever. 4 minutes later, the same man picks up the ball in his own half. He dribbles past one player, then two, then three, then four, then 5. 60 meters in 10.9 seconds, and fires it into the back of the net. FIFA voted it the goal of the century. 2 goals, same game, same stadium. One was the greatest act of dishonesty in sporting history. The other was the greatest goal ever scored. Only the Azteca could be the stage for something like that. Argentina won the World Cup that year, and Maradona was immortalized as the greatest of all time, for those who believe that at least. But the Azteca didn't need any more legends. It already was one. Today, the Azteca holds 87,000 people, smaller than in 1966, after several renovations that improved safety and comfort, but still one of the largest stadiums in the world. It is home to Club America, Mexico's most decorated club, with 13 national championships, and shares the venue with the Mexican national team, who have played their most important games here for over 50 years. When Mexico plays at the Azteca, it's not just a football match. It's a national celebration. The stadium is always sold out. The atmosphere is impossible to describe. For 2026, the Azteca underwent its most significant renovation ever. New seats throughout the stands, cutting-edge technology, giant high-definition screens, improved sound systems, and a complete overhaul of the supporting facilities. The investment ran into tens of millions of dollars. The goal was clear: transform a historic stadium into a 21st century arena without losing its soul. And the result is impressive. The 2026 Azteca is both the most historic and one of the most modern venues in the tournament. Here's something most people don't know about the Azteca, and something that will make all the difference at the 2026 World Cup. Playing there is physically different from playing anywhere else on the planet. Mexico City sits at 7,349 feet above sea level. That's over 2,200 meters. For comparison, New York City is 33 feet. Los Angeles is 233 feet. At this altitude, the air has significantly less oxygen. Lungs work harder. The heart beats faster. Muscles fatigue more quickly. The ball, with less air resistance, travels further and faster. Long-range shots are unpredictable. Goalkeepers have to calculate completely different trajectories. Players who arrive without being acclimatized feel the difference within the first few minutes. Their legs feel heavy. Their breathing shortens. Their rhythm drops. That's why Mexico, when playing at home at the Azteca, is almost unbeatable. Mexico is born and raised at this altitude. For them, it's normal. For opponents, it's a physical shock. For the 2026 World Cup, any European or African team playing at the Azteca is going to feel it. Those who arrive early enough to acclimatize have an advantage. Those who arrive days before the match are at a clear disadvantage. The altitude of the Azteca is, quite literally, Mexico's secret weapon. And so we arrive at 2026, the Azteca's third World Cup, an achievement without precedent in football history. No other stadium in the world has hosted 2 World Cup finals. The Azteca is about to host the opening match of its third tournament, the opening game of the 2026 World Cup. Mexico against South Africa will take place right here on June 11th. 87,000 people inside the stadium. Billions watching at home, around the world. It's a historic moment for multiple reasons. It's the first World Cup with 48 teams. It's the largest football tournament ever held. And it starts here, in the most historic stadium in world football. There's something poetic about it. Football returning to its historical roots. The Azteca, which witnessed Pelé and Maradona, opening a new chapter in the history of the world's most popular sport. No other stadium on the planet can say it has hosted 3 World Cups. Not one. The Azteca is about to make history for the 3rd time. And we'll be here to tell you all about it. Over the coming videos, we'll visit every single stadium at the 2026 World Cup, one by one. From MetLife in New York to the Rose Bowl in Los Angeles. From Dallas to San Francisco. From Vancouver to Toronto. From Guadalajara to Monterrey. 16 stadiums, 16 stories. If you don't want to miss any of them, subscribe to the channel now. It's completely free and you'll get every new video the moment it drops. See you at the next stadium.